Senjin Oryuken. What's up guys, Digimon Undisputed 22 back here again, this time with another video, and today we will be doing my deck profile of my Alphamon Oryuken deck. Yes, as I promised for my previous video, I was going to do a deck profile on this deck, and finally today is the day. And today I came in first place with this in my locals Digimon TCG tournament today with this deck. So I thought I'd share with you guys my deck profile of my Alphamon Oryuken. So let's get started. So for the start with the Digitamers first. Digitamers, we're running 4 Doraemon and then 1 Kyokkyomon. So Doraemon is a definitely run because it's so good. Whenever you put a X Antibody into your Digivolution sources, you draw 1, and then Kyokkyomon, you don't really have to run it, but I just run it just for 5 just in case I run out of Digitamas and just get the 5th Digitama. And it's quite a good card as well because his skill is if you have a card that X Antibody moves into the Digivolution sources, he gains 1k DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. So yeah, pretty good. So that's for the Digitamas. Let's move on to the level 3s. Level 3s we run quite a few. So for level 3s, we run a total of 12. So we run 4 Ryudamon, 4 BT07 Dorumon, and then 4 BT09 Dorumon. So why? So the only new card here is the BT09 Dorumon, which has the skill is on play you can discard 1 card with X Antibody, you can draw 2 cards. So yeah, it's pretty good. Then the rest I'm going to explain. Ryudamon is because of the top 3 to search for the your other tamer Ryuji, which I will go through later. And then Dorumon is for the +1 memory. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward for the level 3s. Next, move on to the level 4s. My level 4s are pretty jumbled up, so I play quite a lot of different level 4s, so please do bear with me a moment. So for level 4s, we run 4 Dorugamon, of course, because Dorugamon is a quite a good card. 2 Dex Dorugamon, 1 Ginryumon, 2 Reptomon, and 1 Grumblemon. So the only 2 new cards from here is these 2, which will be Reptomon and Dex Dorugamon. The reason why I run them is because Dex Dorugamon is just a +1 memory as a free evo, and you can give one of your Digimon retaliation plus blocker, which is pretty good. But I only run 2. I might increase to 1 more, just remove one card to find someone to replace him. Then for Reptomon is not, you can choose not to run him, but I choose to run him because he gets rid of level 5 cost or below Digimon, which is sometimes very useful against decks like Security Control or Rookie Rush, or any decks that have like spam 5 cost or below. So yeah, that's the reason why I run 2 Reptomon. You can Ginryumon, I just run 1 because just in case you can like slot in from a hand into Digivolution sources, your Digimon will get a blocker, so that's why I run 1. So yeah, that's all. That's for the level 4s. Level 4s we run 10, and we run 1 Grumblemon. Grumblemon is just in case you can finish your opponent, you run Grumblemon. Evolving is one of the 10 Ancient Warriors. So yeah, so that's for level 4s. Then for level 5s is also quite diverse as well, but not as diverse as my level 4. So level 5s we run 3 Dorugreymon, 3 Hisaryumon, and 2 Grademon. So the only new card is Grademon. Grademon is basically on Digivolve, check top 3 review top 3 cards of the deck, add 1 Alphamon and 1 X Antibody under one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards as a Digivolution source, and then trash the rest of the remaining cards. So yeah, this card is pretty good. This card is just basically searches your Alphamon just in case you don't have Alphamon, which is sometimes the case. And his carry forward skill is when he attacks, you can, same as Reptomon, delete an opponent's Digimon with 5 cost or below. So yeah, that's my level 5 card. Hisaryumon, I still run him because the -1 memory evolution cost when a card is moved into a Digivolution source is pretty good. So that's why I still run him. I saw people don't run him anymore. They replace him with the Dex Doru Greymon, which is also good, but I still prefer his Ryumon just for the 1 cost and Dex. And for Doru Greymon, no need to explain, this card is good. Prevents you from being destroyed and prevents power from being minus. No questions why you won't run him, and an extra security check. So yeah, that's for our level 5s. Now we go on to the main spicy part of the deck, which is the level 6 and the level 7. So for our level 6, we run 4 Oryuken, definitely, because Oryuken is the best card of the deck. One of the best cards of the decks. 3 Alphamons, BT06 Alphamons, yes, the +2 memory one, and then 1 BT09 Alphamon. So the only new card here is the BT09 Alphamon. So BT09 Alphamon, on evolve, you can choose one X Antibody card from the trash and put it into this card Digivolution Sources. And then second skill is when once per turn, when a card enters his Digivolution Sources, you can choose one opponent's Digimon and de-Digivolve it. So yeah, that's the reason why I only want to run. I see people running more of him now instead of the BT06 Alphamon, but I still prefer the BT06 Alphamon because of the gain 2 memory. So yeah, pretty nice. And Oryuken is no question because it lets you restand or unsuspend one of your Alphamon in name. So yeah, that's the level 6. Then finally for the level 7s, my favorite part of the deck, we run 3 Alphamon Oryukens. This card is just insane. This card is what the deck needed all this while. This card from the newest pack as well. This card is basically an on evolve, destroy all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost, and at the end of your turn you can return up to 7 non-Digitama X Antibody cards from the bottom of this card, Digivolution Sources back to the bottom of your deck. Yes, it returns back to the bottom of the deck instead of going to the trash. It's so much better, so you don't deck out in any order. Then for each card you return, you gain 1 memory. And how to evolve him? Very simple, just evolve him on an Alphamon with Oryuken under him as a Digivolution Source. It's quite specific, but it's actually pretty easy to do. So yeah, that's why we run 3 Alphamon Oryukens. This card is, there's nothing really bad to say about this card. This card is just too good. 16k DP power as well, very strong. So yeah, that's all for the Digimon. So now let's move on to the Tamers and the option cards. So for Tamers, we run 3 Ryuji. This card is just too good. And we run 2 Kota. So Ryuji, no need to explain why. This card, just whenever your X Antibody moves from the nursery into the battle zone, you gain a memory and you draw 1. So if you have multiple, you can stack 1. You can stack the skill, it's pretty good. Then whenever an X Antibody Digimon attacks, you can put 1 card from your hand into one of your Digivolution Sources, which triggers your Digitama and your rookie effects like Dorumon gains 1 memory and the Dorimon gets you to draw 1. So yeah, this card is really good. Let's just explain, and it's a 3 cost, which is pretty good tamer. Then 2 Kotas. Kotas I might increase to 1 more because Kota is pretty important because it sets your memory back to 3. Sets your memory to 3 if you have less than 3. And then on play, you can check the top 4 of your cards and add 1 X Antibody Digimon from among them to your hand. So yeah, that's the Tamers. Then for our option cards, we run just 4 options. So 2 of them is Black Memory Boost, of course, because it's a search power. This card is really good. 1 Iron Fist Onslaught, the Gankumon spell that destroys all Digimon cards with the highest play cost, and 1 X Antibody. So the only new card here is X Antibody. So what you enjoy my deck profile of my X Antibody deck profile. Pretty sure you can come up with a different deck profile other than mine, but I like this deck profile currently. And if you notice, most of my cards are quite high in rarity. It's really hard to max rarity this deck. This deck max rarity is pretty expensive. So yeah. So, alright, that's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much. And X Antibody does basically, it's you can place this card at the bottom of your Digivolution Sources. One of your Digimon with Digivolution Sources. Then if he's at the bottom of your Digivolution Sources, this card cannot be trashed, so it counters decks like blue that loves to trash out the bottom of the Digivolution Saucer, so it's pretty good. And it has a skill when he attacks, you can Digivolve one of the Digimon into X Antibody form. But this deck, the whole deck is X Antibody, so you won't really use the second effect. You just use it for the first effect, just put into the soul and draw one. I might remove this, but sometimes it helps as well. And his security effect is you gain 1 memory, so it's technically Hammer Spark, but instead of gaining 2, it gains 1. So yeah, I might remove this, changing to maybe another quota, maybe another level 4, but sometimes it helps. This card just basically just activates for 0 cost, then just put into your soul, then you draw 1 card for free. So Iron Fist Onslaught, you can choose not to play this, but I decided to play this because this card, you might never know, you might surprise your opponent with this card, because this card just deals this card and Alphamon Oryuken is literally a board wipe, because unless your opponent has like three different Digimon with different costs, or maybe different Digimon with different costs. So when you evolve Oryuken, you can delete all your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost, and then if you cast this, you can delete all Digimon with the highest play cost. So yeah, technically they both do the same thing, but I still decided to run like 1 copy of it just in case. I just prefer 4 cards that almost do the same things. So yeah, that's all for the option spell. So yeah, that is the deck profile of the Alphamon Oryuken deck that I topped today. They are top with today. This, like I said, this deck has been boosted so much. It's so insane. So let's go on to the combos of how to play this deck. So be right back. Okay, so this is one of the combos you can do with Hisaryumon, and let's say your hand is like this. So basically what you do is basically you will use X Antibody, put into the soul. Oh wait, I forgot the Digitama. So let's say you have Doraemon, you evolve into the Hisaryumon with this right line Dorumon, and Dorugarumon and Hisaryumon. So let's say you use X Antibody, you put into your Digivolution sources that will trigger Doraemon and Dorumon to draw 1 and gain 1 memory. Then since you use X Antibody, you will trigger Hisaryumon's skill, which lets you Digivolve into one of your level 6 Digimon for -1 cost. So you will Digivolve Hisaryumon into Alphamon, either the BT6 one or the BT9 one, depending on what you have. So you evolve into Alphamon for just 2 costs, so that's a pretty cheap cost right there. So basically you're evolving Alphamon for just 1 cost, because Hisaryumon will -1, and then you gain back 1 memory with Dorumon from the BT07 Dorumon, and because of X Antibody, because you place a card into Digivolution source, and you haven't even used Ryuji yet, so all you can do is just use Alphamon to attack. And this is happening before the attack phase. Normally in the past, what you would do is you will just use Hisaryumon to swing, then use Ryuji to arrest Ryuji to put a card from your Digivolution source. So let's say Oryumon into a Digivolution source to Digivolve Alphamon for 2 costs. But now since we run X Antibody, which I only play 1, I mean you can play more, you can just remove it, up to you, but I just play 1 just in case. So just use X Antibody, slot into the soul, Doraemon will draw 1, Dorumon will gain 1 memory, then Hisaryumon will trigger, evolving Alphamon for just 2 costs or 1 cost. So you haven't even attacked yet, so you can just go to the attack phase, or Alphamon attacks, pay up to how many memory you want from 1 to 5. So I will just pay 2 memory. Normally in the security checks, your opponent's highest power will be 14k or 15k, but those are only for level 7. So the powers you need to watch out are 13k, because highest power is watch out is because 13k, because mostly are level 6. So level 6 are run more than level 7. So normally I will just swing, I'll pay 2 memory, so Alphamon will be 14k DP. So the security check, then use Ryuji's effect, put Oryumon into the Digivolution sources, so then after he attacks he can restand. So after he restands, so check for 1 security. If you have Dorugreymon, it'll be even better, you can attack for 2 security checks. Then after the restands, then after that, since you do have an Oryumon and in the Digivolution sources and Alphamon as the main Digimon, you can evolve to Alphamon Oryuken for 3 costs. Yes, really good. So evolve into Alphamon Oryuken for 3 costs. Then you can just swing with, and then when you Digivolve, you can delete all opponents' highest play cost, and then Digivolve, you can attack with Oryuken. There will be a total of 70k because you have Dorugamon. So yeah, 17k for 1 security check, or if you have, like I said, you have Dorugreymon 2 security checks. So that will, and you're attacking with 17k DP, so you don't really need to be afraid of any other level 7s in the security check. So yeah, that's how this deck works. This deck is just insane. Then let's say you just play whatever else you have in your hand, then it's the end of your turn, you can use Alphamon Oryuken skill, return everything back to the bottom of the deck. I mean, up to you, up to 7 cards at the bottom of the deck to gain back the memory that you lost. You can return X Antibody as yeah, you can return X Antibody as well from the Digivolution sources back to the bottom of the deck, so that you gain, and then you gain 1 memory for each. So yeah, that's the combo for one of the combos I figured out for playing this deck. There's plenty of combos you can do with that. I'm pretty sure most of them know already how this deck is played, so I'm not gonna go through much of the combos. So yeah, that's all so that's my deck profile of my X Antibody deck. Hope you guys enjoy my deck profile. I might do a little update on this deck in the future, but for now I find this deck pretty good with my current build, because my current build has quite a lot of surprises. Today I fought a Grand Kurogagumon deck, which I almost lost to, but I won because of Oryuken. Of course, Oryuken is just too good. But Growakamon right now in the current meta is actually really scary because of that restand ability and the extra security checks. So yeah, that's actually pretty tough. But my toughest opponent today was against a Mastemon deck, which he actually played there's a purple Digimon that doesn't let you gain memory from Digimon. So it cancels out BT06 Alphamon and Oryuken's ability, because you can't gain memory. You can't gain memory by Digimon effects. So that was a hassle, but I still won. That was a really close game. I could have lost that game, but I won. I won because I had Grumblemon in hand, so I finished it off with Grumblemon. So shout out to that guy. That guy was a really good player. Mastemon deck. I had one of the most stressful decks I ever played against. So shout out to that guy. Then my last opponent was an X Antibody Wargreymon deck, which I won purely because of Dorugreymon, because it doesn't let me be deleted by effects. So yeah, so Dorugreymon is the MVP of that game because I couldn't be deleted. So yeah, and he kind of bricked as well, so I won. So that was my finals match of today's tournament. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Hope you guys enjoy my back profile of my X Antibody deck profile. Pretty sure you can come up with a different deck profile other than mine, but I like this deck profile currently. And if you notice, most of my cards are quite high in rarity. It's really hard to max rarity this deck. This deck max rarity is pretty expensive. So yeah. Alright, that's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much. And just remember, guys, I now have social media. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram. You can follow me there on the links below, or in the video description. Below, or on the video. I post the links on the video as well. And please stay tuned for more videos from me. The next opening will be the BT05 Card Fight Vanguard Beat D-Series booster box, which we are really excited to open because it contains Phantom Blaster Overlord and Majesty Lord Blaster and all of our old favorites. And they have a new rarity called the 10th Anniversary SP as well. So I would love to open the box as well. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Undisputed 22 signing off.